Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We're here for the Starting 11 show. Big game for Arsenal today. Taking on Aston Villa at home. A chance for them to just keep closing and keep putting the pressure on Liverpool. Joining me, I've got Lee Judges and also Julian in the place to discuss what we think the Starting 11 should be, what it will be. It'll probably be out in about the next...
2 minutes?
Yeah. 9 minutes.
Are we running slightly late?
Slightly late.
Yeah.
Can you apologise to all the people waiting? Because
Yeah.
there's a few been moaning that we've come on late.
It wasn't us at all.
So can you?
Well, what happened was when I got to the area where we're in, there was a water truck working on the road, blocking the whole road.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like water. There's a lot of water about.
Yeah, it was easy for you to walk past it, but because I was driving, I had to wait for him. Well, I had to go and summon him to get him to move it away.
And did that take an extra half an hour?
No. But we're not half an hour late, are we? So, listen, you're going to get smug, right? We'll kick you right off of the stream. There are other people in the studio that we can get to join on this.
Is it
right?
That's a threat, isn't it? Bullying?
Yeah, it's bullying.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk about the game today. And as it stands, we can see the Brentford game going on in the background. That's 0-0 at the moment. Whether it stays that way, that's another matter. But whatever happens, whether it's 0-0, whether Liverpool lose, whether Liverpool win, we have to win. That's the state of play right now, Lee.
Yeah, and do you know what? I met some fella coming into the studio because I was on time, just saying that. But anyway, he turned around and said that the league, the Premier League, what a beautiful league it is. And it is, you know what I mean? Because you cannot predict anything. You know, who would have predicted that Newcastle will get thumped 4-1 in the form that they're in? It's incredible. So you
Great
don't really know what you're
Bournemouth as well.
Brilliant display, absolutely brilliant.
Just goes to show that when all those people are saying that there's no chance to go up there losing 2-0, you know what I mean?
That would have put a bit of doubt in their minds.
Yeah.
Put a bit of doubt in their minds. So, like, you know, this is what you can't predict this game today. You can't predict what's going to happen here at Brentford. And that's the thing, you know. He's just got to play as well as you possibly can. Anybody can beat anybody in this league at this moment in time.
It's not just for the neutral. It gives us confidence, the fact that, OK, let's say we did lose today, but if everyone's losing and drawing, it doesn't have to be the end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it makes it far more competitive. I mean, even Manchester City, with what Manchester City have done in previous seasons, if they went on a similar run, which they're capable of, they're still a great team. All right, they're minus one player and a bit of confidence. They could even go on and win the league still.
Yeah. But, you know... listen,
well, even people were saying Newcastle had a good chance of doing it.
To have any chance at all, you've got to keep winning games. That's what we're seeing. And Villa, as we know, is not going to be an easy game. They beat us last year. That was one of the games that really cost us winning the league. What do you reckon today?
I think it's going to be a real tough game. I'm worried about this game more so than Wednesday. I did say that we'd beat Spurs, but this was the game that I'm panicking because the fact of the matter is, I don't care what Spurs fans going around saying, "Oh, we don't care about the result." I've had all my Spurs mates. We didn't really bother us when we win. You know
Didn't bother them.
Didn't bother them. Not bothered about it and all that. Like, you know, Villa are a much better team. Much better team.
Yeah.
So it is you know, we've got to be as ruthless as in our play. But when we get to that front, we've got to be more ruthless than we have been, and otherwise we will get punished today. Simple as that.
Well, we got punished last year, if you remember rightly. It's almost that game sort of mirrors a lot of what's sort of gone on this season, in that we had loads of chances, but we didn't take them, and then in the second half they punished us, didn't they?
Yeah, it was. I thought that was actually the best half of football that I'd seen the whole season. I thought we were absolutely brilliant, apart from the fact we couldn't put the ball in the net, and the worst culprit was Trossard from about 3-4 yards. And if he'd put that ball in, I think we'd have gone on to win 3-4-0 the way we're playing. I think for Arsenal, if we don't get that early goal, I just always starts worrying. The crowd starts worrying. I think the players start losing confidence. It's almost like we need that early goal to then kick on.
Lee Jacobs with a super chat. He says, if you're watching Brentford versus Liverpool, Mbeumo is an absolute baller. He's exactly what we need. Mikel Arteta should be putting in a bid in now, an early, gents. I think Thomas Frank has already said no way is he letting Mbeumo leave. Wissa's the other one, actually, that's been heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. But all the transfer talk and talk of strikers and that means nothing today, because even if you went out and got one right now, he can't play. We are going to have to rely on the guys that we've got, and they're going to have to step up. Trossard stepped up the other night.
Yeah, Trossard stepped up, and there's obviously the rumours that Saliba's not going to be playing today.
Yep.
So
he
that's
wasn't seen in any of the training.
Yeah, but
yesterday.
that doesn't mean anything. But I did see him pulling up with what it looked like to be. It couldn't have been an hamstring because he carried on playing, so it looked like it was cramped. But I don't think you realise that 6 days of playing like 120 minutes, then playing an intense game against Tottenham. Also, I think a little bit of tiredness is going to creep into our and so it may be that he's been just doing a different thing away from the team. But if he's not playing it, that's going to be a big problem for us.
Yeah, it'll be a big blow.
Yeah.
Big blow.
Yeah, but if you're getting cramp, then that's an indication that something's wrong with your body. In as much as your body's tired, that when your body's tired, you're more likely to get another injury. So it's not even a case of you're injured or not injured.
Yeah,
if you start to be fatigued, a fatigued body is one that's susceptible to injury. So you've got to start resting him.
If he doesn't play, what would you do? Who would you bring in there?
Well, I suppose you're going to have to bring Kivior in and play.
You have two left-footed players.
Yeah, there's been two right-footed central defenders before, so Adams and Keown done it for years. So it's not ideal. But
what about maybe moving Timber?
What and
then put in Partey?
So moving two positions. Then I'd rather just do one.
So what about?
What would you do?
I'd maybe look at Kieran Tierney as a centre half. He's played there for Scotland, and I thought he looked quite good.
I wonder if they really want to be overplaying him, because the rumours are that he's going to leave and that he's going to be going on.
He's hardly being overplayed, is he?
No, but you will be if you're playing him for a full 90 minutes.
Well,
that's different, isn't it? If you're playing him for a full 90 minutes. So, we've got the team. All right, let's see. Is this the team as our social team?
Social boys, they're pretty good.
Social boys early, right? And they've been pretty accurate, and they're saying that they feel that Saliba will be out. They haven't actually given me the full team, actually. They're just saying that they think that Saliba's going to be out, Partey will be at right back, Merino will come into midfield, and Raheem Sterling's on the bench, but they haven't given me the full team yet. But that's an indicator. So let's see if that proves to be correct.
Right, then, Martinelli.
So if he does go on the right, maybe it is Timber who might come into that centre-back role if Saliba is out.
But then you're moving too many positions, aren't you? I don't think he's going to do that. He's got to understand that.
I prefer that, to be honest.
Yeah, the more positions you disrupt...
Yeah, the more disruptive the play's going to be.
No, but Timber, he's played right back before. He's played centre-back before for us. He played centre-back at Ajax before he joined us, and he plays centre-back for his country as well.
And
a right-sided centre-back, and he's good as well. Remember pre-season he played there?
Yeah, but it's not just about players being able to play there. It's about the relationships that they're forming. And if you keep moving them positions, they're not able to form the relationships. And it's relationships on the pitch between players that play in similar areas that are making us successful.
Kivior doesn't play. You just said it earlier. Kivior doesn't play in that position, does he?
So, I wouldn't want Kivior there if I had a choice.
Yeah. Joey says I'm at the stadium. No Saliba. That's the vibe we're picking up. As we said, he wasn't in the photos yesterday, and it is not looking like he's going to be starting in the game. But we're just waiting for the official announcement of the team.
If that's the case, then and it is a hamstring. He's going to be out for a few weeks.
It could be a hamstring. It could be a hamstring. It could be just maybe precaution. Yeah, I mean, because remember, there's another game on Wednesday. We're forgetting that, and that's a very important game as well.
Another game
in the Champions League, and then there's another game Saturday, and there's another game the following week after that in the Champions League. So
and you can't play him every single game. And if you do get tempted to do that, you could end up with another Saka situation of him being overplayed.
Today, if he is doubtful,
even if he's fatigued, I would
rest him today. Anyway. I'd leave him out.
Even if it's just mental fatigue, you can't be performing at the top of your game all the time. If it's every few days you're playing, and every game, every time we introduce a game, we call it a must-win. Every competition is a must-win. You can't keep on that level.
We've got the team. This is the team that is going to be playing against Aston Villa today. In goal, Raya, Thomas Partey does look like he's going to be at right back, and Timber and Gabriel. So Urian Timber going into that centre back position on the right hand side, Gabriel on the left. Miles Lewis Skelly keeps his place at left back. And then it's a midfield of Declan Rice, Merino and Martin Odegaard. And up front, Martinelli, Trossard and Havertz. The bench, Neto, Tierney, Kivior, Kakuri, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Sterling, Cabia and Butler Ade. That is the Arsenal bench. So
we're in trouble.
So is McGinn made it? I don't think he. Hopefully,
I don't know. We're just watching Mbuemo there going on a little run through, but he messed it up. We had a little one-on-one situation.
If that was Havertz, everyone would be going mental.
That just took 5,000 off his fee.
Yeah,
5,000. Is that all?
Yeah. 5 million.
Yeah,
that's rubbish.
That was rubbish.
That was Sterling done. That would be all going mad.
Yeah, same with Havertz. Havertz does that. Any of our
but let's be real. Mbuemo doesn't do that a lot, does he?
And Havertz wouldn't have got in there.
You know,
his pace wouldn't have got him in there.
Mbuemo doesn't do that a lot.
Havertz is up top again, is he?
Yeah, well, it looks like. Yeah, Havertz starts, you know what I mean?
I've got Havertz in
and
there.
Martinelli this time. Martinelli probably on the right-hand side.
And the midfield machine's back, is he?
Marino.
Your favourite?
Marino is back.
Yeah.
Marino is back.
He's not our favourite.
He is. You love him, used to.
No one said nothing.
He's not our favourite. We just haven't written him off after 5 seconds like you have.
I've not written him off for 5
seconds. Yes, you have.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you have.
You have.
Well,
you've been sarcastic about him.
He just blows my mind every game. Like,
he's not been great, but like we've said to you for a while, you know, I mean, the guy's just arrived.
Yeah.
You know, like I gave you some examples the other day of players like, for instance, one who's playing in that game right now of Gravenberch, who last season when he just arrived, and you know,
interested in Liverpool.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, but you can use these as examples of players that just arrived. That everyone said, you know, if they would have got rid of Gravenberch now he's been the best DM in the league.
I'm not saying getting rid of.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm saying, you know, I don't think he inspires me to have a midfield dynamo position today, up and down here, B.
Yeah, he's not been.
Be all over
we're admitting to you he's not been great, but we're not writing him off, are we?
And in the first 10 games that Dennis Bergkamp played, were you inspired by him?
Probably wanted him out as well.
No, I didn't want no.
Bergkamp, get him out! He's rubbish.
I think at the end of the day, he played a lot of games for after that for Arsenal.
He did play a lot of games, but the question was, in those first 10 games,
I think he's been here a lot longer than 10 games.
I don't think
never a penalty.
There's penalty shot against Liverpool.
Bergkamp did show signs that he was a good player. Can I just put that out there? Like, what has he showed you? That, and I'll be real, so I'm not having a go at him. I'm just asking the question: what has he done in these games that shows you he might be a success at Arsenal?
Scored a couple of goals.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
It's important as a midfielder.
It's very important.
You know, as a midfielder, scored a couple.
That's the most important at the moment.
Yeah.
If we could score more goals, then we'd be top of the league.
Yeah. So, all right, that's fair enough.
Well, you asked me one thing he showed me.
You're right. I should be singing his song down to the ground now. Like, you know what I mean? He scores a couple of goals.
It's not about him. You know, you're suddenly in love with him, because we're not in love with him yet.
Don't say like to me.
But what we're willing to do is give him a chance and appreciate the fact that he's only just arrived and he's had quite a disruptive.
You in the next 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that you two will not be getting his name on the back of your shirts, right? Okay, I guarantee.
I'm just going to get a shirt just to prove him wrong.
Yeah, well, you can do that. Like, you won't spend them. You might put Mikel instead of Merino because it's cheaper. You know what I mean? Like,
Nathan Garrity says, "Hi guys, I'm a big fan of Arsenal Fan TV. How can I become a member? We are going to be starting up membership soon, so look out for that. That is coming very soon here on AFTV. But Nathan, thank you very much for that. So." You're not trusting in Merino today, then? I mean, listen, they do have a good mid. I'm just waiting to get the Villa team.
I think
but they do have a midfield
team. Not Jacobs. They've got Rodgers in midfield. Who caused us all sorts of problems in the first game running. So, you know,
he was brilliant, wasn't he? I'd never even heard of that guy.
No, never. I thought, who is he?
Yeah.
He was outstanding.
From Middlesbrough, I think.
And they've got what's his name, who's very, very good at this moment in time. Tielemans, who's someone we could have got for free, but people didn't want it. Well,
he's only just come
this
good,
season. Yeah, he had a poor season last year, like, you know what I mean? So they've given him the benefit. They've done a Merino.
Yeah, but the other one that they rely on a lot, that's always played well against us, is McGinn. I think he's out.
Yes,
let me give you their team. I've got their team right now. In goal, Emi Martinez, of course, returning to the Emirates. We'll get his usual warm welcome, I'm sure. Matty Cash, Konsa, Mings, Maatsen. Good player he is, Maatsen. Anana, Kamara and Tielemans in midfield. And then Ramsey, Rodgers and Watkins. So that's the Aston Villa team to play today. Their new signing
is going to be out wide, not in midfield. Is that what we're saying?
It's looking like it. It's looking like it's Kamara, because Kamara normally plays like that sort of holding. Anana's sort of the box.
What, the Rodgers is out wide?
And Liverpool nearly scored a minute ago.
Oh no,
he's not
penalty.
giving away a penalty, has he? He has given away. Has he? No, it's corner.
That looked like
Maatsen, their new signings on the bench. Good player. He's
that looked like a penalty, Smith. I think
former youth player for Arsenal.
That looked so much like a penalty.
It did look like a penalty. Let's just watch this. This is the
if
Liverpool
not
game.
give it, they ain't going to overturn it, are they?
Oh, that was so stupid by the goalkeeper.
It's not a penalty.
Not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
There's not enough to overturn.
No, it's never a penalty. I don't think he'd be, even if he gave that, he doesn't touch him.
He don't even touch him.
And to be fair to Diaz, he didn't really appeal for it.
No, he's dived.
Right, so I don't think he should get booked. Lee, you're Arteta. What will you tell the players today? That's coming from Simon and Suda, Mr. Captain.
What I tell the players today is, got to win this game. Be confident when you're in front of goal. Carry on what they're doing. Just be that little bit more precise in the final third.
You've got to take that confidence from winning the North London derby.
Yeah,
and
take that.
The high and the spirit. And that. Bring that to the game today, because the one thing about that game, what they did is they created a lot of chances. I thought we were much more free-flowing than we've been in games. Now, that could be because, Tottenham, they are a team that will attack more.
I was going to say something else. Tottenham are.
Well, they're that as well. But they're a team that's going to attack, innit? They're going to be on the front foot. They're going to attack. So
I just think the way Tottenham played, if I be really honest, helped us. They played it into our hands. They took risks, unnecessary risks that they didn't have to do. I don't think, like, when you look back at Man United, they done that. Certainly Everton didn't, certainly Newcastle didn't, and I don't think Aston Villa will. If they get in front against us, they'll defend and play properly. They won't be like doing those kamikaze passes into midfield and things like that. So we've got to be a little bit wary of that. I think today is a real difficult game for us.
I thought we're actually slightly lucky on Wednesday.
Lucky?
Yeah. Because we played Tottenham, and it was, because they played in a way that falls straight into our hands, as Lee said. They were playing balls that we could intercept. They were playing in this dangerous way, and other teams that have come just don't do that.
But I thought, if I'm being honest, I'm going to give Arsenal a lot of credit. I thought the football was very free flowing. That first half, sort of, especially that first, up until when they scored, actually, right? We absolutely dominated them.
First
they couldn't even
minutes.
they couldn't get out of their box. That's the type of free flowing football I'm talking about. They were unable. They did defend because they were unable to get out. All they could do is defend. And I want to see that sort of fast start from Arsenal today. Fast,
that I agree with.
Attacking, because they couldn't get out. They couldn't. They were in full defensive mode, not because maybe that was a tactic of theirs, just because they had to. Or they were just getting completely overrun.
I agree with that. The first 20 minutes it was, but our pressing game was good because they allowed it, because we was allowed to press them. There's other teams have just got the ball and just played it out and behind and caught. The one thing that I would be worried about is all that pressure that we had. They had the best two chances.
Yeah.
They did. They scored.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, they scored.
Because I don't remember us having any great chances. We didn't really break them down. We had a few shots.
But they had the two better shots. Probably that's the worry.
And what worried me was the same thing that's been worrying me for a few weeks, is how easy it was for an opposition player to carry the ball for such a long distance without anyone putting a challenge in. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're fit and you're running with the ball and no one's challenging you, it don't matter how good you are at football.
They've done that a few times, didn't they?
Yeah. it just we were open like that.
All right, Chat GPT says people can push Robbie versus Yardman, Julian versus Turkish duel as much as they want, but it won't come close to Ty versus Claude. Here. He says, rest in peace, Claudiola. We miss you. Big up, Claude. They had some battles, didn't they?
And they're genuine as well.
Yeah. HW says, Lee's bang on. Merino hasn't shown nowhere near enough on the ball all season. Gravenberch is a different level technically, but what I'm saying, the point is, technically Merino's a very good player. Were you watching playing for Spain?
I agree.
He's technically a very, very good player, probably better than Gravenberch technically. But what the point I'm making is that Gravenberch in his first season was poor. You know what I mean? But now he's turned it around. So that all we're saying is, we're not talking about I'm not comparing the players in ability-wise, who's better, who's not. I'm just saying that Gravenberch had a first season, and if, probably the manager of Liverpool followed the fans, they would have got rid of him. And now look how good he is. And that goes for quite a lot of players. There are players that take longer to bloom than others. It's just how it is.
I will say this in his defence, you know what I mean? And if you've ever been there, if you've had no pre-season, it's always tougher.
Yeah, no pre-season, and then he suffered a bad injury as well on top of that. So to make it doubly worse.
Sterling's not been great for us this season, but you can see there is some things that I think, this and that. I don't see that with Merino, apart from he's technically very, very good. He's got a lovely little, just a little bit, lacks a bit of pace, and he's very safe with his play. I think he made about 4 or 5 good turns in the last game, and then what's his next pass? He's back. If you ever look back at Xhaka, Xhaka would always punch into the
But isn't he being told to play like that?
Well,
the whole team,
know.
That's the thing is that you could be judging the player poorly because of the fact that he's following the instructions of the manager. Because ultimately, if he doesn't follow the instructions of the manager, then he's out anyway.
That is true. But I just want to see him get the ball and punch into the forwards a little bit better. That's my only.
Move it quicker.
Yeah,
get the ball moving quicker.
I think that's
it's going to be tested today because they've got a good
always had. The way Arteta's playing is that we're not getting the ball forward quick enough, and what that's allowing us to do is you think the other team is great defensively, but they're not that great because they've got so much time to set up and get players behind the ball.
I agree. I think that was one of the good things we've done on Wednesday. We did move it a lot quicker.
We pushed the ball really quickly in that game. We were on Spurs. They couldn't get out. They couldn't move. They were pinned. And that's what I liked about. Well, I call it the first half performance was like that. You know what I mean? And I think we need to do that against Villa today. Villa, I think you're right, Lee. They're going to give us the ball. They're going to be all about counter-attacking, and they've got some very devastating players on the counter. They've got a lot of pace on the flanks. So they are going to be very dangerous on the counter-attack. But they will give us the ball.
But Spurs, Spurs were dangerous as well. Give them credit. They don't have much tactics.
They were at first, not so much.
Yeah, they don't have much tactics, Spurs, and that is the difference. Emery will come here with a game plan, whereas them lot just came here just to play football.
Well, that's a great. I felt that looking at Newcastle and Manchester United as well, more so Newcastle, you could see they was well drilled, well coached.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
You knew exactly what. With Tottenham, it was a little bit.
That's who we are.
You see, we are, mate. You know what I mean? Like a bit mishmash. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't that solid foundation of a base of how to play and things like that, So that's why. Listen, as I said to my mate saying on the train, we should have enjoyed that game a lot more than what we did, but we was all ill at the end of the game because we should have been way out in front.
Again,
but we weren't.
That is the issue. And those front three today, which is Trossard, he scored a goal, so his confidence should be up. Martinelli and Havertz.
It'd be interesting who plays on the right. Could actually play Havertz out there today.
I don't think that's a bad idea, because Martinelli looked a lot more dangerous through the middle. I'm not too sure about him on that right hand side. He's not as effective as he is over on the left.
He's better at putting the crosses in because he's right footed.
I don't know, man.
He is. He's most definitely a stronger foot. It's a different way for him to play. He's not. Doesn't seem to be as good at cutting in.
Who would you like? What would you see Martinelli on the right then?
I'd like to see Martinelli right down the middle because
I think I would as well.
I mean, when he broke into the team, he was a.
That's what you're just saying.
Yeah, he was a forward.
Yeah, I
always remember. I felt for him when he scored that goal at Chelsea.
Do something different.
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And take Havertz away a little bit further away from
great
goal.
save from Alisson.
Great save by Alisson there.
That was Becker.
No,
It was a great save by
when
Becker.
he makes a mistake, it's Becker.
Right.
Lee Jacobs says Merino might be a good player technically, but look at this Villa game. We could have signed Tielemans so easily and didn't. Premier League proven and technical. I don't think.
But we're not really
Tielemans
suffering in
is
midfield, are we? We've got
actually the
players
answer.
there.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Do you know what? You might think I'm silly here, but I would rather see Tierney. But I know we're changing all the defence, so can't do it. But I would actually like to see Tierney at left back and put Miles Skilly into that role.
No, I don't understand why you guys. Thomas Partey has actually played now in that position in a lot of games this season. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There's a chance here for. Nearly scored.
Alisson again.
Another good save by Becker.
Thomas Partey has played in that right back position a lot of times now this season against good sides. He's played against Liverpool. He's played. Who did he play against the other day?
Newcastle.
Not Newcastle. Is it Newcastle he played?
Man United.
Man United. No. It must have been
Man
Newcastle.
United.
But he's played in that position.
He's played, but it doesn't mean
a lot of times
Every time he's played right back in the Premier League,
Yeah.
we're on the little stat,
We've
we
lost.
drop points.
we drop points, right? But to me, Saliba's out, and I think Timber is a good in that position. He knows that position, can play that position. He's solid in that position.
The fact of the matter
Go
is,
Tommy
Tommy Asu should be playing.
Go
but he's not, he's
mishmashing.
injured.
Well, Tommy
He's
Asu's
always
injured.
injured. He's
So,
always injured.
yeah.
So who's
what do you
playing
think-
on the left for Villa?
Who's playing on the left for Villa?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'd have to get the Villa team back
It'd
again.
be Morgan Rogers.
All right, he's fast. Or is he? I can't.
Fast, powerful.
Yeah.
It's not lightning quick if it's Rodgers there. He's quick enough.
Side every single time.
Yeah, that was in the midfield.
Yeah.
So I'm not against that. I'm not against that because
But
at the end of the day, we've got no.
And he's not just suddenly
I
going to
don't
develop
understand
speed because he's playing there
No, but
more
I don't
often.
understand. You guys are saying that you don't want mishmash. You don't want people being, and then you play
Well, I'd
Mars.
rather play centre right.
But then you like playing Mars Lewis Skelly as the right,
because
which
I
he's
think
never
we-
played that before.
Yeah,
and
he's played, that's all his career there. In midfield.
What, right back?
No.
You lot said earlier, play Mars Lewis Skelly as a right back. Who said that? Was it you or you?
No, I didn't say that.
I played Kivior at central defence.
Yeah, so that's
So
mishmash because
you
he's
keep
not
Timber at
really.
the same position.
Yeah,
So you're only changing one position. You're bringing Kivior in, and
Well,
then you're keeping
Is
Timber
Kivior
there.
fielded
and
with
you-
a lot of confidence
and
when
you
he's
keep
in?
Partey.
He's out.
Is it-
How many more are out?
Yeah, and exactly. And if those players are out, you've got. That is the reason why he's been
so you're
put in
only
that
making
position.
you're only making one change,
What we
which is
gonna do
Kivior for Saliba.
What are we going to do next year, right? When Thomas Partey's not about, because we ain't going to have.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Zubimendi
Zubimendi.
Probably Zubimendi.
Yeah,
innit?
but we need that right back player.
but hopefully we won't
But
have the same injuries.
listen, that's what I had to point out
Yeah.
to a Tottenham fan the other day. When you talk about crisis, right? We've had a crisis literally in a lot of positions. So basically, you've got Timber alone at that right back position. And
Yeah.
remember, Timber is a player that can play both positions.
Benny White.
Ben White can play both of those positions, but he's out. So that's what's been part of a lot of the problem. I had to remind Expressions when he was telling me that, we had young Archie Gray having to play as a centre back. I had to say, well, how old is Mars Lewis Skelly?
Same
He's
age,
only 18,
both
isn't he?
18.
And he's about a 4th, 5th choice, and that's why he's been playing. So,
And they're both playing out their natural positions.
yeah. But listen, it's not ideal Thomas Partey playing there, but I think I would like to see Timber playing as a centre back rather than Kivior playing
I get
on
that,
the
'cause you've
right
got
hand
the
side
balance
of
of
it.
the
It's
right-
more of a
right
balance,
side of it, yeah.
And they're a dangerous team up front, man. They've got Ollie Watkins. That's a dangerous player.
But also,
I want two
by
good centre
taking
backs
Thomas
to deal with
Partey
it.
out, can we agree now, by taking Thomas Partey out and putting in Merino, that we're weakening the midfield as well?
Yeah.
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 It's because
So
the best midfield.
So that's another.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's another reason not to play Partey at right back. Number one, he's not got the speed, and however much he plays there, he's not going to suddenly develop speed. He's slow,
Right.
so he.
But who else
he
do you
can,
play
he
there?
can be. You keep Timber there, and you bring Kivior in.
No, because to me, Kivior's not filled me with confidence when he's played at centre back.
Partey,
And then
but
you're
you've
even
got-
putting him on. You're putting Kivior on the right-hand side of a centre-back, which he hasn't done this at all this season, at least in the case of Partey, what I'm saying, he's played big games in that position.
He hasn't played well there because
season.
He's not...
No, he's done all right. He ain't gonna get
got the speed
listen,
for
he ain't
it,
gonna
and
get
he can
forward
get
and
exposed.
overlap and stuff like that. But as pure defending, he's done all right.
I feel
against,
sorry for who's playing wide right now because he ain't going to get the support of a wide.
That's true.
And it affects the relationships.
That's true, but I would rather, the relationship be keep a clean sheet. And rather than
So what's the point of having Kivior there
because
if you're never going to play him?
No, but I think Kivior on the left-hand side,
He's sort of like the Gabriel
whether you're a left
place,
back
yeah.
or a left centre back.
They should have scored
in
there.
Liverpool, right? I think he's a good player, but playing on the right-hand side of that, I don't
Brett's
think
in the house. What's you know what I mean?
big up Brett.
Bring up Brett.
Right?
Like,
Maybe he could play in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get Brett out there.
He is fast.
He can run quicker than Partey.
Let's see this attack here for Brentford. There's Wissa on the ball. He's
That's the end of that. He's up against Canati.
That's a good little chip ball in there. Oh, and a little effort there. Brentford have been playing okay.
Another good save by Becker. He looks very safe.
Well, that was a standard save. Even you would have made that one. Arteta will win us the quad. He just needs another 700 million, says Mr. On. I was reading the stat yesterday, actually. Spurs have actually spent more money.
Yeah, it's just a little pop at Mikel.
Than Arteta has spent.
I hope you spent a lot of money with that little pop at our Mikel.
Lee Jacobs says Mikel Arteta took a gamble with Ben and Tommy and it backfired. Effectively lost two players who can play both right back and centre back. We should keep Thomas for one more season. What's the gamble he took with Ben when what? Oh, injury wise?
Listen,
he's playing with an injury.
He's had a good.
Ben White.
No, I think he might be talking about he was playing with an injury, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was playing with an injury because of he had to, and because of Thomas Partey, not Thomas Partey, because of
Timber.
Tommy Asu not being about. Hopefully, Tommy Asu apparently is back in training.
Yeah, that is the rumour. He's back in training.
He was back on the pitch for 10 minutes. And then that was the last we saw.
What's name's back as well? Back close.
Ethan Wanieri.
No, Ben White.
Ben White's back. Yeah, I think I heard that Ethan Wanieri is going to be back soon as well, isn't he? So,
end of the month.
Yeah, and then the manager was talking about going into a transfer market and stuff like that yesterday, which I think is really, really important. But this is a massive game today. If we could win this game, it keeps us in the fight.
I'm talking about going out of Halle Berry, but it's not going to happen.
So what's your prediction then?
There's more chance of winning the league than you get Hal Berry.
I've got more chance.
Yeah,
I don't know. I reckon I've got more chance of taking her out than getting an Arsenal bar and a striker.
No, I think there's more chance of us winning the quadruple.
Honestly, you know what, right? You guys know from when we was in America how funny Curtis is, right? He made me laugh today. I was driving down, I was chatting to him on the phone, and we were talking about Arsenal needing to make a signing and stuff like that. And we were talking about the fact that Bournemouth had gone there and beaten Newcastle. It just goes to show that, you could turn around a 2-goal deficit, right? But I go to him, but we need a striker, man. We need a striker. We need an attacking player. So I said to him, I go, maybe we should get that Justin Kluivert. Look, he just scored a hat-trick. Maybe we should go in for him. I was just saying jokingly. And then Curtis goes to me, he goes, knowing Arsenal, we're going by his dad.
Yeah, Patrick Kluivert, yeah.
Oh, my days. I was killing myself.
What has he done today? And he scored goals. He's not what we want.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
scored 2 hat-tricks this season.
Yeah, he took one from penalty. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But he's not what we want.
Yeah, why isn't he what we want?
Because he's not that.
He's still not an out-and-out striker, is he? He's still like in the vein of your Martinellis and people like that, where, your Trossards, that type of player.
He don't play week in, week out. Do you know, he was left out the last game and he comes back because they lost their forward, didn't they? That's why.
Evan Nilsson's out.
And he's come in and he's
having a good season.
I'll tell you what, he took his goals today.
Yeah, did you see the third one?
Oh,
what a screamer.
What a strike.
Anyway, your predictions for our game. 4-1 to us?
No, I can see it being a draw today.
Can you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
A 0-0.
1-1.
It won't be a 0-0.
1-1.
1-1 you're going?
I like to think Arsenal can win it, but I do think,
Yeah, I think without, because they're also missing. Who's the centre half they're missing as well?
Diego Carlos.
Yeah, he's missing.
They've got a couple of players missing themselves.
There's Pau
Torres.
Pau Torres.
Yeah, he's still
He's
out.
been really good for them.
But don't forget with Villa though, they played Friday.
Yeah.
They played last Friday against West Ham, so they've had a few more days.
Yeah, but they did play in the week
Wednesday,
as well.
But we've had to play Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday,
Yep.
60. It's a tough ask.
But like you said, they've got a couple of injuries. You know, I mean, Tyrone Mings in
Everton.
defence.
That
Yeah,
was
but
a
they
tough
played
game.
on the Friday. So they had Friday.
No, when did they play Everton?
No, they played Everton on Wednesday.
But
On
they
Wednesday?
They
Yeah.
played on the Friday against
Yep.
West Ham. So they had
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before they played again on Wednesday. We played Sunday, then we played Wednesday, and then we played Saturday. So 6 days we've had 3 games. They've had 3 games in 12 days.
Okay,
There's a
but I would have
difference.
thought from playing football, it's more about the most recent game, and we both played on Wednesday night, and they also had an away game, and I think
Yeah,
I think their game at Everton was a harder game than our home game at Spurs.
North London derby.
It doesn't. That's the only thing that makes it difficult. It's North
Yeah, but
London
it's a derby. Derby is a harder game.
It wasn't
I mean,
an easy game, Julian. I don't know
Yeah.
where you keep getting this. It wasn't
I don't know
an
what
easy
plan
game.
you're on.
I don't know what plan you're watching.
No, it wasn't easy. It should have been, but I'm saying that
I know
that
it
I
should have
think
been, but it wasn't.
that I think it would have been harder for us to go to Everton than it would do to play Spurs at home. I really don't think Spurs are a good team, tactically or individually. I think it was actually
Spurs are a way more dangerous team than Everton. You go to play Everton. That's a much more dangerous game. Spurs are coming off of the back of beating Liverpool, like 1-0 last week. Right, they were coming off the back of a couple of wins. I know whatever they are in the league, and it's a North London derby, and sometimes they can be crap and still turn up. So,
but
honestly, to just dismiss it like that, I think that's nonsensical.
I'll give you the reasons. I'll give you the reasons why.
Go on,
because when Everton come to Arsenal, or when you go to play Everton, they have tactics. They might not be very impressive tactics, but they have.
Do you think it's
they
a
have
harder
game plan?
You think it's harder to play?
It's
Everton?
harder to play
So when we
against
went
Everton
away-
than Tottenham.
So Everton away is harder than going to White Hart Lane. That's what you're saying.
No. So what I said was when Spurs come to Arsenal, it's an easier game, or it was this season.
We've never
than when
lost
we go to Everton.
We've never lost to Everton at home.
No, at Everton.
At Everton, what are you saying? At home to Everton? Because I asked you first, is it away to Everton? You saying then away at Everton is a harder game than going... So that's harder than going
What I
to Spurs.
said was Aston Villa's game at Everton was a harder game than Arsenal's
Yes,
against
I'm asking you
Spurs
the question
at home.
again. Is it harder to play away at Everton?
No, I see what you're saying, because we're at home and they're
Because
away.
we're at home and they had to go away to Everton, and it was also
I don't know.
Moyes' first game. I think that was a harder game. I think that would have
I
been.
don't. I think a North London derby, any derby is a hard game. We saw a couple of weeks ago, Liverpool, when they were going to Man United, we were all saying 5-0. Well, you didn't actually, Julian, but a lot of us were saying 4-0, 5-0, 3-0, and it was a draw. Because those games are harder, because the players will get up for those games.
I don't care what anybody says. That was a tough game on Wednesday.
North London derbies
It
are
was a tough
hard. That's a
game.
tough ask.
I just think it's easier to play Spurs at the moment than it is to go to Everton.
Anyway, let's get your prediction.
I think Arsenal win 1-0. Scrappy goal off
1-0.
Havertz's bottom.
I'm going. You said that the other night.
Go on, Gary.
I'm going 2-0 to Arsenal. 2-0 or 2-1. I think there will be goals. I think Villa can be. We've spoken a lot about their attack. Like you said, Julian, a couple of guys like Pau Torres out, Tyrone Mings in defence and that.
He's come back from long-term
I mean,
injury.
these are players that can be got at, right? From set pieces, I think we can get a lot of joy against them as well. And if we start fast like we did the other day, I think we can get some joy tonight. Villa, up until that game against Everton, had lost, I think, 4 or 5 straight on the road, right? And not only that, I watched the highlights of that game, and Everton. I know
Had
this.
some good chances.
I know this is the same with us, but they missed so many chances.
But so did Villa. It was a pretty even game.
I don't know, man.
And that's why I'm
Calvert-Lewin.
saying it was a harder game because it was far more
I think
even.
Calvert-Lewin was very guilty of missing a lot of chances in that game, right? So we need to take our chances today. That's what's going to be the key. But we've known that for literally every game we played at home this season. It's about taking chances, including that one last season at Villa. Let's just see this attack from Brentford. The Brentford have been doing all right.
Brentford, I'll tell you what, are a difficult team to play at home. As Man City found out the other day.
Our 3-1 victory there was a great victory.
If they could hold this out and to
this
get
on the
2
left?
draws
Is this-
against
who's
City.
number 7?
But they've had a couple of
He
chances.
looks quite good, this number 7.
Is that Sharda? They've had a couple of chances. Let me just go a couple more super chats here. Joey says, guys, I'm stressed with this game with Saliba out and Villa are a good side, and our attack isn't clinical. And Lee Jacobs says the linesman in this game has flagged Brentford offside 3 times now before allowing play to continue and allow VAR to check in case they score. Wild. And True Gunners TV says, here's a stat for you. Since Saka's been out injured on the 23rd of December, Arsenal have played 7 games in all competitions, 99 shots we've had, only 8 goals. Get me a striker, he says. Let me just remind you of the team again. It's Raya in goal. Excuse me. Thomas Partey at right back. Timber and Gabriel, the 2 centre-backs. No Saliba, he's out. Lewis Skelly. And then we've got Rice, Merino and Martin Odegaard in midfield. Up front, Martinelli, Trossard and Havertz. And then on the bench, Neto, Tierney, Kivior, Kakuri, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Sterling, Cabia and... Butcher a day. And let me just remind you quickly of the Villa team. Just before we go there, it's Emi Martin is in goal. Cash, Konsa, Mings, Matson, Anana, Kamara, Tielemans, Ramsey, Rogers and Ollie Watkins. Of course, we got a big watch-along going on to the game, so make sure you check out the watch-along. The guys are ready for that. So make sure you check out the watch-along. And of course, we're going to be speaking to fans after the game as well. And on the watch-alongs, you can get your opinions in as well. So make sure you send in your comments of how you think the game might go. So as we leave, it's still Liverpool 0-0 in their game. Listen, if that was to stay the same, who knows? It might do. That would give Arsenal an opportunity with a win to close within 2 points. Am I right? 2 points, right?
Yeah, it would be 2 points.
Yeah, with a win. But game's not over yet. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back after the game.